Need help with your safety belt? The pilot was stiff and edgy, his United States Forest Service uniform so crisp that Anna, accustomed to the rumpled, sweat-stained versions she came across in the field, had at first glance mistaken it for a military uniform. "No," she said shortly. She'd flown on search and rescues, forest fires, and animal surveys more times than she could count before the pilot graduated from high school. Annoyed at herself for being annoyed, she fumbled at her safety harness. She was as awkward a bundle as an Iowa schoolboy waiting for the bus in January. "Pride cometh," she thought wryly, as her mittened hands scrabbled on the webbing and her spiffy new balaclava interfered as she tried to bite her fingertips to pull the mittens off. Finally, she sat as patiently and helplessly as the apocryphal Iowa lad and let the pilot string her shoulder harness through her lap belt and lock the whole mess down. Then she thanked him politely. Robin Adair, the long-legged research assistant, sprang gracefully into the left rear seat, settled herself like a pro, and the plane was pushed from the hangar. The Forest Service seaplane operation was on the shore of Shagawa Lake, edging the small town of Ely. In summer, the runway was open water. Now it was a lane of hard-packed snow, running north-northeast between gaudily painted ice-fishing houses put up helter-skelter till they resembled nothing so much as a 1940s trailer park dropped from a passing cargo plane. In an attempt to quell what was verging on internal whining, Anna focused on the beauty of the boreal forest as the Beaver left the ice and banked, turning east toward Michigan. The day was painfully bright and clear, as it can only be in the north, where every particle of moisture is frozen from the air, and the sun moves low in the south, feigning evening even at noon. Crystalline amber light honed the edges of the world till shadows of pines, long on the shores of snow-covered lakes, were as sharp and black as fangs drawn by children. Even from an altitude of 2,200 feet and climbing, every track across the dazzle of white showed blue. Static rattled in Anna's headphones, and then the pilot's voice. "Have you been to Isle Royale before?" "Once." Anna had the scar to prove it. A 6-inch wheal of shiny flesh across her abdomen. It still ached occasionally. When it was cold. "Did you work there?" Altitude was making the man downright chatty. Anna preferred him in his martinet mode, but dragged herself from the vista of black pine and white lakes to make conversation. 10 or 15 years ago, I was a ranger in Wendigo. Boat patrol." "Wow," the pilot said. Before Anna could bask in his awe, he finished his thought. "I was in 7th grade then." So much for impressing the natives. "Did you ferry the Homeland Security guys out?" she asked, to change the subject. The Homeland Security guys had been sent by Washington to evaluate winter study. For 50 years, Isle Royale had been a lab for Michigan Tech, in cooperation with the National Park Service. The park provided money and physical support. In return, the wolf researchers added to the glamour of Isle Royale. Visitors followed the rise and fall in the pack populations as avidly as soap opera devotees. A sizable percentage of the world's knowledge of wolves had been produced by the study. To remain viable, the ISRO wolf-moose study had 2 requirements: $50,000 a year, peanuts as far as research money went, and that ISRO be closed to tourism from October to May, when the wolves mated and denned. Homeland Security had put forth a resolution to beef up security in all border parks. To that end, they were exploring the possibility of opening the park year-round to better protect the border from terrorists. If the wolf-moose study, running for over half a century, could be said to be effectively mined out as far as relevant data was concerned, Homeland Security was going to shut it down. ISRO would be opened to cross-country skiers and winter campers. Rock Harbor Resort on the East End would be revamped for year-round usage, and a smaller hotel built on the East End in Wendigo. The wolf researchers, Anna, NPS Seasonals, and Homeland Security,